Former Alabama Senator Doug Jones has made quite a name for himself over the past few years.
Yeah, after serving out the remainder of Jeff Sessions' Senate term, he served as an instructor, commentator, and advisor to President Biden. I caught up with him to talk about his next chapter and what the future may hold should Vice President Kamala Harris win the election next week. Fairfield native Doug Jones has a lot of titles. He's a counsel and senior government relations advisor, a distinguished senior fellow at the Center for American Progress, a national co-chair of Lawyers for Harris, and of course, a former senator. But now he's trying some new avenues.
It's the Cloakroom with Senator Doug Jones on Sirius XM Progress 127.
Well, hello, folks.
For the first time, Senator Jones hosted a political satellite radio show that aired a couple of weeks ago.
You know, they had called me back this summer. I do a lot of interviews on Sirius Radio, and they said, why don't you guest host for a couple of hours? We'll give you the time. You can talk about whatever you want to. And I said, you know, look, I'll do a couple of interviews.
And one of his first guests was a very high-profile figure in Washington, D.C., one who visited our fair city just last year.
The Honorable Ketanji Brown Jackson. Your Honor, welcome to Sirius Progress.
Oh my goodness, I'm delighted to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
She is just such an incredible human being and just so fun to talk to. You know, it was interesting that when she came to Birmingham, and I got to tell you, when I first talked to her about this, I assumed that she and Patrick, her husband, would come in the night before. We'd have a dinner somewhere. She would do the speech, go to the Civil Rights Institute, and blow out of here. Not spend 6 days in Alabama. Oh, wow. She came in on Wednesday and left on Tuesday. And we had dinner at our house.
Of course, it's hard not to talk politics with the election looming. The former senator says he's bullish on Alabama, but doesn't like when we show up in negative national headlines.
The people in control of the state are the ones that continually do things that put us in a bad light, whether it's going to Confederate birthday parties, you know, things like that. Just it doesn't show Alabama very well on the national stage.
And how about the way the state runs our elections? Senator Jones says it's long past time Alabama makes voting easier.
We don't engage voters enough. We don't make it easy for them to do that. We're in an age right now between families and work and all the other obligations. People cannot go and stand in line at the government's convenience. They need to be able to get to the ballot by mail. They need to be able to get to the ballot easier, 7 days a week if necessary, just like so many other states.
Okay, back to the former senator's budding media career. Live radio? Check. What about film?
Most of you have sworn under oath to defend the Constitution. What happens when those in uniform break that oath?
This summer, he and other government alumni took part in a documentary called War Game.
It was totally unscripted, in which there was another January 6th insurrection, and how the government would respond should there be some members of the military go rogue. And I played the Attorney General.
Mr. President, we are going to be starting the game in 3.
We are here to stress test our national security system.
1.
I asked him if he would play Attorney General in real life.
Next question.
That movie looks intense, so you can stream the film War Game right now on Amazon Prime. And to hear more of my conversation with former Senator Jones, be sure to visit our website or download our app.